message here on the telephone, 'cause we've no idea when we're coming home. Any place we wander to, any season we go through, I'll be fine as long as I'm with you. Heaven knows.
And welcome everyone to another episode of Connecting Clareshlolm, where we pride ourselves on being prepared and knowing what's going on. Today's not that day. It's all going to be new, and we're going to make it up as we go along, which is kind of true. I have a co-host today that I didn't know I was going to be co-hosting with.
Hi.
Hi, Amanda. So David Gale, who's known far and wide, messaged me and said, I have a surprise for you today on the show. And I saw his message, and I don't know if you do this on Messenger, but you can see a message pop up and you read the first line and you're like, oh, that sounds great. I love surprises.
Sure. Yeah.
There might be more to the message. I didn't read it. I didn't go in and actually read the message.
I mean, anything from Dave, you can just kind of like disregard.
So we're going to read it right now live and see if he actually gave me more information, because I'm assuming the surprise.
Because I said, you didn't tell him? And he goes, no, I told him it was a surprise.
This is like, I got a surprise for you on the show today. That he's not here. That's the surprise. That's fine.
That's okay.
We'll call that a pleasant surprise, because now you're here. So you're the real boss. You are the real boss.
That's right. I am the real boss.
So we have 1,000 guests today as well. So it's really exciting because we have Cody Hall's going to be joining us shortly. I think I talked to Cody, I want to say 2 years ago when we very first started this, and I was like, please be on our show. It would be so cool. And we also didn't know what we were doing then. And then we got a little more confident. And Cody was involved with a really cool initiative called Slow Your Roll, which we're going to talk a bit about today. And I saw him a couple weeks ago, and I hung off his sweater, and I was like, please be on our show. It was terrible. He was like, fine, just stop hanging off my stuff, man. Yeah.
Totally.
So he'll be joining us here in a moment to talk about a bit about Slow Your Roll, and I think he's a fascinating guy. And the first time I heard him sing and perform, I was like, that is a very talented man. And he's lives in Lethbridge, and we're just lucky to have him around and have him come up and perform for us. So
awesome.
Yeah. Now you've got people hanging out in the studio. I saw someone wander by.
I blurred her so she didn't have to feel like she was on. But yeah, we have Tracy is here, and we're waiting for Sam. She's arriving momentarily, so fashionably late, which is fine because as you said, we have multiple guests to get through. So Tracy's just hanging out with me until that goes on.
I did see a limousine go whipping by out of town about 10 minutes ago, so I assume that's
probably Sam.
Probably Sam.
All right.
I'm glad she's not here today. And we also have a surprise guest in the green room. I'm super happy to see her.
Did you know about that as
well?
No,
I didn't. No,
nice.
No,
nice, Dave.
I'm not even going to say anything because she'll be a surprise, another surprise. This day is going to be full of surprises.
Why not?
Now, normally we do a karaoke. Dave throws a karaoke up, pins us down, makes us listen. Yeah. He's not here.
Not happening.
So we're going to bring in someone who sings for real, and people pay to hear him sing and play music. And awesome. There's no more introduction that I need, but we're going to welcome Cody Hall to the show. Hi, Cody. Welcome.
How are you? Thanks for all those accolades. I'm sitting here blushing.
No, that's good. Well, I'll tell you. So you had played a gig here in town. I think it was Winterfest, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know who you were at the time, and everyone was like, "Oh, Cody Hall's going to play." I'm like, "That's cool. Who's that? Who's that?" And they're like, "Just wait." And then you showed up and played, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's really good." Not that I was expecting anything else, but I was really quite blown away. But you also, and I thought, well, this is just a full-time, this guy's full-time. Like, he must be touring, and how did we get him? What is your day job, though? You have a job like a normal guy.
It's like you're in some sort of...
I'm in it right now, yeah. We dismissed 15 minutes ago. I'm a middle school phys ed teacher.
Oh.
That's cool.
I've been teaching grades 6, 7, and 8 health and wellness for the last 14 years. So
wow. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, definitely sometimes is the reason that I sing, to get rid of some of the pent up
right.
And challenges of dealing with teenagers all day.
Right.
Preteens, I guess, not even teenagers, preteens.
Yeah, that's a fun. Do the kids think it's cool what you do on this other part of your life?
You know, it's super sad. Like I'm this year, this year, finally, I'm starting to be brave enough to be like, hey guys, I sing. I am on Spotify. I'm on YouTube.
Wow.
Really?
But I've kept that under wraps for a long time. I've always kind of had this icky feeling. Like, I teach in a school of 700 kids, which that's 700 listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This icky feeling about like, hey kids, listen to my song. So I really don't talk about it a lot. I'm lucky to have some really cool staff members who are friends who are like, do you know that Mr. Hall has music? And then kids are like, no, I didn't. And then they'll come and ask me, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I do. But it's always been something of a struggle of mine too. Like, I love playing music. I love writing music and singing and being in front of people. But the second I stop singing and have to do something like this, it's always like,
it's like two different people.
I like it, but
yeah,
check it out if you want to. What I really should be saying is like, absolutely, go find my stuff, stream it, watch the videos. I've had an incredible year, and it's given me nothing but confidence to actually start selling myself a little bit better.
Yeah.
And promoting what I'm doing, and like you said, with Slow Your Roll, some of the new things that I'm interested in now and involved in are also for charity and for good deeds and things like that. Like, I'm part of a concert to fight cancer here in Lethbridge on May 3rd too. So like, lots of things that are, again, not so much now I'm going to get paid, but I'm finding ways to involve myself in more charitable things, and community initiatives. And like I said, the Slow Your Roll is big. The concert for cancer is big. Starting to get involved with Whoop Up Days a little bit here, and have some exciting stuff happening with them. So yeah, it seems like doors are starting to open, and it just feels like a really exciting time right now.
That's awesome. And that's an interesting point about, kind of keeping those two things separate. So, I mean, we'll happily talk about you and promote you, and people should all go and listen to your stuff on Spotify. But I can see where you might feel like it is a bit tricky, because music is, particularly songwriters, it's very personal. And, teachers tend to have a gap in their relationship with the kids. They're there to teach and to lead. But the minute it goes the other way, and now someone can come into your world. And I think it's interesting, because I think there's influencers now too on like TikTok and different platforms that are like, oh, now my kids are watching my stuff and their friends are watching my stuff. And now this is a whole different world. Whereas when it started, your kids are little, or the people in your world are, not engaging on that platform. And now all of a sudden you got, and I'm sure you've had kids that have gone through that school and have gotten older and been like, whoa, dude, Mr. Hall's got some stuff on Spotify and it's really good. And you got a band as well. So it's not like, this is the real thing.
I find that to be a little bit of the challenge too, of just in terms of artist branding. Like, if I had to pick where I belong in terms of genres and stuff, I get that question a lot, and it's probably leaning towards like outlaw country. I don't swear a lot, and I don't say terrible things and like government issues or anything like that. But the more I do that, I realize that like sometimes I gotta kind of be careful of how I word things, or especially like explicit language. Right. Knowing that like I do want to sell music, and I know that some people can handle that and they listen to it and they enjoy it, but in the same sense, I have to keep myself grounded in knowing that like, first I'm a role model as a teacher.
Yeah,
that's kind of been a little bit challenging sometimes, and offers some stop signs of like, okay, I'm on a roll, but this song says these things that I don't know if I can actually promote that as like, I'm a school teacher and I said this.
Right. That's not many people think that far down the road. I can't wait until you retire from being a school teacher one day. And there's going to be an album that comes out called All the Kids Were Terrible, and it's going to sell 1 million copies.
I just went to a former junior high school's birthday, his 60th birthday. We still keep in touch. And a lot of my teachers from that time were there singing karaoke, drinking, doing crazy things. And I'm like, what is happening? Right. Like, these are real people. I don't get it. It just breaks your brain.
Actually, sorry, I'm so terrible for this. I just talk all the time. I think it's the teacher in me. But when you just said that too, like the whole idea of real, and I think that's where I'm starting to realize this music is kind of a connection piece for me.
Totally. Absolutely.
When I tell kids, like, I said I teach phys ed, so a lot of it is confidence and ability to perform in front of people and that self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I don't want to do this today. I'm like, I know. And there's lots of days where like I'll get a show and I'll wake up in the morning and I feel terrible. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But then you got to go through it. And then like once you start performing, it's a great feeling.
Feel awesome. Yeah.
All the fear that we deal with beforehand, and like fear is everywhere in life.
Yeah.
If you can just kind of master getting through that, or even just being okay with it, it's going to feel uncomfortable sometimes, but when it feels uncomfortable, the reward's usually higher.
Yeah.
It's a better feeling in the end. So yeah, kind of bringing that approach in and being more brave to talk about my own vulnerabilities helps me to be a better teacher too. So it's kind of neat how the two professions have kind of started holding hands now, and I can kind
feel
of
comfortable. Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
What I do, I think, as a teacher, I don't know how many people want to hear this, but like we're performers too.
Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. I totally get that.
For 40 minutes, and like if you're not exciting, they don't listen. So
yeah,
a lot of the times that I'm teaching, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, well, I just got to throw on my performance hat again and get their attention, and then we can be successful. So.
That's awesome, Cody. That's really good perspective. And so there is a guy out there who's a huge fan of yours. His name is David Allen Gale. I'm going to try to bring him in. Earlier we were looking at his ear, so I'm hoping, Dave, we're going to bring in Dave, Earth to Dave. We're bringing Dave in to say hi. Boom, there he is.
Hey,
Dave's
Dave.
working.
There's Dave.
Dave, I love
it. Beautiful surprise today, my friend.
Hold on, you guys, we're going to stop for a second. We're on a TV show in Clareshlolm called Connected Claresholm. I want everybody to say, say hi, say hi, Alec. Everybody say hi, Alec. It looks like they replaced my beard on the show here, so I'll let them go. But I just want to pop in and say hi.
Thanks, Dave.
Let's get back to the music, everybody. Let's get back to the music.
There he goes.
Ready?
See you, Dave.
Ollie.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's showing Mousetrap. We're going to talk about Mousetrap here shortly. That was awesome. When I said we had 1,000 guests on the show, we actually did there for a second.
Yeah,
a whole group.
that's right.
So I was going to ask you, Cody, like I was at, because I've seen you play a whole bunch, and I'm usually running around with a camera. And the camera sees things, I've learned in the last few years. I've been shooting stuff. And I've shot, various chunks of performances for you at different things. But at the school, that was different. That was different. There's a vulnerability to playing in front of kids, and I could sense like this momentary, not self-doubt, but just like I think there's a hyper awareness of like, oh, I'm a dude about to sing to like 350 kids under the age of 12. It felt like there was a moment of, did I pick the right song? Like, there's got to be something going on, because you did. It was awesome, but I felt like there was you almost seemed like it was more nerve-wracking in that moment before you step off the cliff than it is in front of a group of adults.
Yeah,
'cause kids
they're honest. They're so honest. Kids are the best critique sometimes, because they're never intending to hurt your feelings, but they will, and they. Or you like, that song that you tried to do, but you didn't do a good job. I still love it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes those are just as important. Like there was one that I remember, Slow Your Roll. I tried to cover of Benson Boone, Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he's in the octave 15 above where I can even go. And I tried it, and it was okay, but kids loved it because they knew that song, right? And there's lots of moments where that happens. But yeah, I remember exactly the moment that you're talking about, and I remember trying to lead myself into that song, and then I guess in some ways there's nerves, but then there's also just kind of the punch in the gut of where that song came from. And it's got some deep-rooted emotions, not only for Charles and the McIntyre family and Slow Your Roll, but personally, I've been through some trauma in our lives too that's been hard to deal with, but also a great learning moment for me and my family of like how do we move through something as terrible as unexpected death or losing people that we love. And I think that's kind of what made me gravitate to Slow Your Roll is and I kind of alluded to this in West Meadow, that I didn't really write it for the purpose of that specific event, but more so for the fact of like, if people have gone through loss and find themselves on the other side where it's bright again, I feel it's our responsibility to help others and like show them, hey, you can do this. It's hard. There's so much that you're gonna wake up in pain lots of times, but there's also a lot of really neat things that you can remember. And as long as you're keeping grounded and paying homage by keeping people's memories alive and celebrating the things that they were known for, in a way you keep them. Right.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to put it. And it's a beautiful song. And we were really fortunate to be able to cut some images to the piece. And if you're looking on Spotify, Slow Your Roll is the track. And it's awesome. It's a great tune. It actually was stuck in my head because I was editing with it last night. And I actually woke up kind of singing it in my own special, terrible way this morning. I wasn't helping your song. But speaking of being just rolling, you are kind of on a roll because you are charting right now on the, and you're going to have to remind me, on the
Canadian Indie Country Countdown.
We're going to talk about that. And I promised you, Cody, I said segues are our thing, and we actually have a whole production team that built this just for this moment. Absolutely silly. So the thing we're looking for on Facebook, if you go to your Facebook page, this is it. Is this correct? The CICC voting poll.
That is 100% it. Yeah.
Vote only by email for the Canadian Indie Country Countdown. So you send your email to CICC weekly poll at outlook.com. And I believe you just put the artist's name in the subject.
Yeah, you betcha.
Hit send.
I've done this all the time. Every Friday I have a reminder on my phone to vote for myself, cheesy as it is.
Nope, it's good.
And it literally is like Cody Hall, don't leave that room in the subject line, and you push send. There's nothing to the message itself. And it's really cool. I started this journey in 2021. I released a song called The Dark that actually made it all the way to #1 on this countdown. And I've had 4 other ones that have made it, and they've all been in top 5. So I'm just,
wow.
I don't know. I'm really excited that this one's got what it takes to, and it's moved into the top 50 relatively quickly. And yeah, like I said, it's a weekly vote. So the way that it works, it's cumulative in the sense that, like, if I vote once last week, that vote counts again this week.
Oh, okay.
When this week counts. So over the course of 12 weeks that we're on the countdown, if you can get enough votes, you make it to #1. And yeah, that's always the goal with that little countdown. And it's really neat because it does get shared across Canada. It's actually a station down in Ontario called Coyote 103 that does the top 30.
Okay.
Every Saturday you can hear that. You can just go through Facebook and follow those links. But yeah, there's so many cool Canadian songs on it from people just like me that mainstream media doesn't pay attention to yet. They maybe haven't got their break, or they're just looking for something to do. So yeah, it's been kind of a cool process over the last few years of getting on that one.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. So I got a big question for you, and then we'll let you go because I know you got lots going on, and we got comments I haven't even been paying attention to. It's probably just accolades pouring in. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. So our friend Dave Murphy, who listens to every single show, and he's a wicked dude. My daughter came home with an autograph on her wrist and wants to get it tattooed. So awesome.
That was maybe the penultimate moment of my career so far. I've signed autographs before, and they've all been for kids.
Yep.
They love getting autographs, and I love signing them for them. I remember at the Westminster, though, I had a couple, and it was the Thursday before Good Friday. So I was kind of thinking, as a parent, I don't want my kids taking Easter pictures with somebody's. I'd turn a few down and be like, can I do your shoe instead, maybe?
Easter picture.
There are any parents that were unhappy with the ink on their children. I am sorry. I tried.
Right.
Places that were not going to affect pictures and ruin clothes, but it sure made me feel special to have those kids come and just recognize me. And honestly, the best part was probably some of the conversations of like, hey, do you know so-and-so? You're from Stavely? And I was like,
right.
That's your dad went to school with me, and we were kids were just eating that up too.
Oh
So
yeah.
pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. So my question is, do you consider yourself a school teacher who's a songwriter, or a songwriter who's a school teacher? Or does it depend on the day?
Probably depends on the day. Yeah, on the weekends, definitely songwriter, then school teacher. But through the week, school teacher and essentially just educator in general. I think, not to toot my own horn or anything, but like I love phys ed. And I love phys ed because it's so broad. Wellness has become this new curriculum that like Alberta government is hoping to change the title of the class to wellness. And
Oh wow.
It's like music is wellness. Being on where I grew up is wellness. And like I talk to kids about being able to ride horses and things like that. They're like, what? Can? Yeah, it's part of being rounded, and the more, I always teach myself and my kids, like the more that you're engaged in everything around you, you'll never be lonely. It's impossible. Like I feel like I'm a good hockey player. I spent the first 25 years of my life thinking I was going to be in the NHL, and it just didn't pan out. But like I can still play fairly well. I play music. I can draw and paint, and like it's cool to be able to show kids kind of that teacher is an aspect, but it's what defines me. I think it's something that fits into my mold, and I enjoy having the ability to kind of balance and juggle. It's juggling.
It is juggling. That's a good way to put it. We've got a nice comment here. Please support CKUA so they can support artists like Cody. Absolutely. No, it's a very good point, because a lot of times, like when you hear a song on the radio or whatever, and it's that frustrating thing. I know artists find it like, the overnight success, right? We talked a little bit to Mariah about that a few weeks ago, Mariah Stokes. There's no such thing. You could take 20 years to become an overnight success, but to the general public, once it hits that threshold, then it's like, oh, that's cool. This guy wrote a song and now it's like a number 3 on these big charts. It's like, but there was 400 songs
before that
to get to that number 1. So I could talk to you all day. I feel like I could just continue to ask you questions, but I know that we all have lives and we got other guests. And so if anyone's wanting to go and check you out, go to Spotify, look you up. Do you still sell like CDs, or is that kind of gone now? Like Spotify and streaming is maybe the way.
Yeah, I've spent the last year kind of just doing singles, but I have plans with, like I've done about 9 with Bucket Brigade and Joel Pearson more so, that I want to kind of do a waterfall approach. And what that is take all of these singles that I've made over the last year and then put them on an album. And then I've also just recently, in kind of start of April, Joel and I went out to my parents' cabin and recorded 10 songs for an acoustic album that I'm hoping this summer.
Wow.
So in terms of the short answer, I don't have any physical CDs right now, but there is plans to once again have something of substance that's 10 songs in one spot that I can bring to shows and maybe sell some CDs, or even the other thing that's coming out now is like vinyl albums.
Oh yeah.
Purpose of listening, but just as keepsakes, and I've really kind of like turned an ear to that, and it's kind of sparked some interest, so I might play into that a little bit too here in the future.
That would be awesome. I took my daughter to a couple shows in the last few months, and we've left with vinyl that's now up on her wall, and it's like a keepsake, right? It's a cool thing to have. We also don't have a good record player, so that's part of the reason it's up on the wall. But I think you almost have to buy 2, right? It's like buy one to listen to, and
one
then
to
one
display and one,
exactly, right? Awesome, Cody. Well, super appreciate your time, and I'm so glad we could make this work. I know you got a busy schedule, and again, go and check out Slow Your Roll on Spotify, and really everything else you've done would be an excellent thing to listen to, and go and vote for the CICC voting poll on now. It's really, really simple. You can go check out his Facebook page if you're looking for more info, and let's continue to push it forward. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it, Cody.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me and making sure that I had a platform today. It's always so appreciated to be able to join. So thank you.
You got it. All right, man. Appreciate it, my friend. We'll see you again soon.
Right on. Have a good one.
You too. See you, Cody. Bye.
Cheers.
What an awesome guy. I'm so excited. I've been excited for this because he was one of the very first people I thought, oh man, I'd love to get him on the show, just because he's just a really honest, genuine guy and has an interesting life and a very talented like I said, very talented songwriter, singer-songwriter. So that was cool. It's are we going to hear the song on the hub? I hope so.
I hope so. I'm going to tell Dave.
Should talk to the program manager who's
there. Yeah,
the real boss.
He's off today or something.
I don't know what he's doing. He's at a party. So do you want to take over here for a minute and just talk about why we have really important people in the green room that I'm actually kind of nervous to talk to because they're kind of a big deal. So
in this green room back here?
Well, actually we have the virtual green room. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think to be honest, I don't really know much about it. I was just told this is happening. So
well, we're going to bring on our next guest and we're going to quiz her on I'm just going to ask her random questions about stuff and see what's going on.
I'm sure very well known.
Oh yeah, but Barbell is known by I think her mic is muted. Whoops. Oh, she disappeared there. Hold on, bring her back.
Booted her. There we go.
She's the director at FCSS, and they do a lot of really important work in town. And she's famously, of course, been on stage, and I don't know if you can get much bigger than Barb. So welcome to the show. I have no notes prepared. Normally
I do have some context. I know there was like a volunteer awards night in Claresholm, and that's maybe what we're going to talk about a little bit. Also, some stuff that's coming up. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
So tell us, it's volunteer week this week. So all across, I'm sure Canada, everyone is celebrating our volunteers and appreciating what they're doing. Alec, we didn't bring it up with you because, well, we need to step it up a little bit. But for everyone else who spends their time with volunteering, what was it that you guys put on for the community to appreciate those volunteers?
So combined with the town of Claresholm, FCSS has been entrusted to host volunteer appreciation every year. We try our very best to get it within that week that the government recognizes as Volunteer Week. Sometimes we fail because we're super busy and just don't have the time to do it. So we did a supper at the community center, which is right behind Alex in the picture. And it was great. We had about 245 people.
Wow.
So the way we do it is we go through and brainstorm, and we go on previous year's emails of invitations. So we try to invite people just so that we know how many people are coming and we can afford to feed them, right? So unfortunately, we lack in finding some of those volunteers because we know we didn't get everybody. But we rely on other volunteer people to share with us. And then if you let us know, if you got missed this year, if you let us know, we will include you for the following year. But we know we didn't get everybody. It's just one of those things that we can't have it as an open engagement because we don't know how many people we will have to feed.
Right.
So we prepared for 250 this year. So we got about 240. And then we also present a Citizen of the Year and a Junior Citizen of the Year award.
Oh, nice.
I'm not on that voting committee that's past citizens that get together and they read the application. So people submit letters that they think would suit, somebody that should deserve an award. This year, we were very sad to say that we didn't get a Junior Citizen nomination. So we just had the Citizen this year, and our winner this year was John Cope for all of the volunteer work that he has done since he's lived in Claresholm. They just get a plaque and they get recognition, and it was amazing because usually we can't surprise them because there has to be a way to get them there. But he was totally surprised. He thought he was there on behalf of Lions Club, and they called him up, and it was great to see.
That's nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So we try to mix it up. So next year probably won't just be a dinner. Next year we might do entertainment and hot dogs or something. We try to kind of shake it up a little bit every year.
Yeah.
One year, we just did coffee and cake one year, and people could drop in and have cake. And
nice.
It's just, we try to fit within the boundaries of the money that we get. This year we spent a bit more money because we had some carryover from our budget last year. We apply to Volunteer Alberta every year, and they generously give us a bit of money. it's never enough to host a whole facilitated event.
Yeah.
We do what we can for sure. And we go on donations. Like people are really good at just donating sometimes to us, and we keep that aside and use it where we can. So
that's amazing. I know a lot of people who do volunteer, they're not really looking for that party or recognition. They're just doing it because they want to be there for their community. So this is just an added little, bonus for them. And it's nice to see those people. And that's an incredible turnout, 240. Way to go.
Right?
Yeah,
way to
that's
go for
really
Claresholm to have that many volunteers involved in different things.
And we know there's lots more out there. We just didn't get them all. So
yeah.
But anyway, it was
That's awesome.
It was amazing. It was a great night, and we had nothing but good things said. And so
perfect.
I look forward to having people let me know if they want to come next year, if they got missed. So
absolutely, I even have a little thing that people can reach out to you. Wait, let's see if we're organized here. Super. Ooh, there it is.
Oh, look at that.
There it is.
That's
You guys rock. That's awesome.
So if you didn't get on the list, absolutely reach out to them. Say, you'd like to participate next year, whatever that might be. And, or if you know somebody who might not have been there and they should have been, reach out, let them know, because they don't have a list, right? You're just going off of kind of word of mouth and people who are there. So that's good to know.
And people that the agencies and things have invited previous years. So absolutely. And anybody is welcome to submit letters to appoint someone to be the volunteer of the year or citizen of the year. So there's always, they put that out in the newspaper when it's time, but it's usually a month before this time of year.
Right.
And can put a letter in and tell us why you think a certain person should be able to be the citizen of the year. And the junior too. We're always looking for younger kids up and coming that are doing a great job. So
I'm sure there are some that definitely could be recognized. But what if people haven't started volunteering yet? What's a good way for them to kind of branch out and get an idea of where to go and how to get started?
So there's tons of places in our town that require volunteers. So they could definitely reach out to us. And then if there's nothing that we have up and coming for volunteers, we can try to point them in a direction where they might have some things that they like to do. Because you really should like it, because then it's just a joy, right?
Yeah. And I think people get scared of the commitment, the time commitment, right? And there's a lot of things that you could do, once a month or a few hours, a week or whatever it is. It really can be up to you, I think, for the most part, and how involved you want to be.
Yeah, we've been trying to organize just a list of people that would be interested to do like a one-off thing once in a while, or do some like a drive to the pharmacy for somebody or something. But we haven't got that quite organized. But if anybody's interested, you just reach out to us for sure.
Awesome. No, that's great. That you got a good point about it. Like, you should enjoy it, whatever you're doing.
Yeah,
because there's something for everybody for sure, and that's how these communities run, is on volunteers in a big way.
And we like to share people around. If we can't use them, we definitely will send them somewhere. So.
And if people don't know, what does FCSS stand for?
It stands for Family and Community Support Services, and we are a resource and referral. Unfortunately, with the times, we're seeing a lot of need, and people just don't know where to turn. Everything's over the phone now, so we actually are an office where you could come in and visit, and we have coffee on. People are welcome to just stop in and hang out and see what we do.
And it's for any age, any
age. We have programs.
Be a young mother, you could be a senior who's kind of feeling lonely. You could any of that stuff that you can reach out to, and they can help you out. It's a great resource. Exactly. We have FCSS in Nanton as well, where Dave and I are, and it's incredible. We're having our volunteer appreciation event tomorrow, so
sounds like
excited
a fun
about that. Yeah. It'll be great. So what's the next event that's coming up for you guys that you're supporting?
Well, we have lots of programs, but our big event is going to be Senior Week. We will be at the Soup Bowl helping to serve, and we'll do a donation there. So June the 4th I can't remember now.
4th?
What
Yeah,
I said.
4th you
Was
said.
it June the 4th? Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
So we will be at the Soup Bowl serving for anybody, but it's special for Senior Week, and we'll have a bit of swag. And we love our seniors in town too, and we want to make sure that they're doing okay. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's such a valuable resource, and valuing our volunteers is such an incredible thing. So we're glad that you were able to do that and have so many people come out and celebrate. So that's awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. I know it was a last minute.
It was a surprise, yeah.
Arm twisting, but we appreciate it.
And the check is in the mail for you, Barb, as well.
Okay, well, thanks, Alec. Yeah. It's good to see you both.
After all the volunteer talk, a little joke.
Yeah, thought you got that really confusing.
No one's getting paid.
Paid for this. Yeah,
that's right.
No. And I got paid for the play too. Did you?
Actually, being around you was payment enough. That was all the reward I needed.
Lovely.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, the check just said Barb on it, so that was fine for me. I thought that was nice. So there you go.
All right. Excellent. Thank you guys very much for having me. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Barb. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Barb.
Bye.
Oh, we sound. What's going on over there?
I don't know.
What is going on? Sam,
interesting stuff happening.
I can see it's you. I can see the look. We're going to bring Sam in.
Stealthy.
Oh, hey, hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. Oh,
thanks for your patience and waiting and hanging out with me here in the studio and figuring out, how to get into your places. Yeah. Places, everyone.
You knocked over a pot of chili on the way in. That was okay.
Not a big deal. Whatever.
Sam, Tracy, welcome. So I've been trying to figure out how we're going to do this because we want to talk about Mousetrap, which is coming up in this building in a couple of weeks. And I thought I'm going to go and do a little bit of research. I'm going to do a little bit of recon because I haven't seen the show. And then I got scared because the whole deal,
dude.
Well, the whole point is that I don't know this show at all. And I've purposely spent 46 years tiptoeing around anyone who's seen it or is in it or talks about it. I run away. Because I want to surprise. Because I knew at some point I'd get to see the show live, and that opportunity is coming up, and I don't want to ruin. I don't want to accidentally ruin it for myself online by going into Wikipedia and learning too much.
Alec, I have the script sitting right behind me. You know how hard it is for me not to just reach over and read the end. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it.
No,
staying here. It's fine.
So I've taken a very I've sort of put bubble wrap around myself for the last 3 months, and I've not. My groceries get delivered. My car needs an oil change. I'm waiting. I'm not gonna.
You can't get out
bother.
there in public.
I think one of the tires is flat. It doesn't matter.
Dave and I were out last week, and a friend of mine, Dave, says, "Yeah, I'm in Mousetrap," and she was like, "Oh, isn't it great how?" and I didn't hear. Thank goodness it was so loud. And he's like, I can't believe you just said that. And she's like, oh, is it? And he goes, you're sworn to secrecy. You cannot. And she's like, oh, I thought everyone has seen it. No, I have not. Alec has not. We're all been waiting for this moment.
You are sworn to secrecy at the end of the show.
Yes.
You're not allowed to tell or talk about it.
And why is it so secret? Why do you think? And it's the longest standing production, or what is the history behind this Mousetrap?
It has run for 70 years on the West End in London, and it's the longest running continuous running show in the world.
That's right.
Wow.
Ladies, let's make sure our microphones are nice and close so everyone can hear. I know, Tracy, but your microphone here. This one here.
There you go.
Don't unmute yourself there.
And it's amazing. In 70 years, I don't know anything about it. I know enough about it to know kind of the general scope, but
it's a murder mystery by Agatha Christie. And,
okay, that's enough.
And so that kind of says it all.
Yeah.
So what we can talk about,
whodunit,
is we can talk. What's going on with your microphone there?
It's possessed.
It's now.
You have to hold it while it stays out. Hold it. There's a new one is on order, so
okay.
It's afraid of me.
Yeah, it just keeps leaping away. But what I did want to ask you about, Tracy, is the process, because you're directing, or at least co-directing this piece. Now, if I've talked to Sharon about this, Sharon King, who directed the last show, she says Tracy's directing. I'm just helping. But then if you ask Tracy, she'll say, well, I think I'm just helping. There's a lot of mystery in who's actually leading the fray. But what's that experience been like for you? Taking a lead like that in terms of not on stage a lead, but creatively how this is going to look and feel.
It has been very interesting. Sharon is amazing and lovely and kind and has a very good eye. And I do more character development and the rules of the stage, like don't stand here because of this or that. And then we've also used the traditional blocking, which means the movement and where you stand of the mousetrap. So we haven't veered too far off of the traditional stage direction. And so that's been really fun.
Nice. That I didn't know that. That's see, these are the kind of things we can talk about.
Yeah, you'll often see, when you're in theater, they threaten you if you turn your back to the audience. Well, in the mousetrap, the characters sometimes have their backs to the audience.
Yeah.
Right.
And things like that, right, Sam?
Yeah, it's definitely new. I've never actually been in a show where someone is allowed to actually purposefully turn their back from the audience and face only the characters on the stage. But it gives it kind of a tone of realism because he's supposed to be talking to us as the characters, not to the audience.
Right.
And so it's actually really cool.
It is. And Sam and David have incredible instincts. We haven't had to tell them what to do at all. They're fantastic. Incredible instinct. And we've let most of our characters develop themselves. But once in a while, you have to give everybody a little nudge.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there is some humor in this murder mystery as well, right, Sam?
Yeah, there has to be comedic relief, right? Or else it's too heavy.
Well, I was going to ask about that because my understanding is it's a murder mystery, as you said, and it's a cast of 8. But what a lot of people don't know is it's actually a cast of 13 because someone actually dies for real every night. So how do you deal with that?
Gosh. Oh, no.
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys are doing
attached to
it.
these people. I don't know.
We get so
Yeah.
attached.
And I'm glad you guys are on the show now because I don't know what happens in it. You might not be around in a couple weeks.
Will we see them again?
Will we ever see you again?
We just have a couple comments here. I think Dave was trying to. Well, first of all, I'll have to just address this. This has nothing to do with the show, but I don't want to get behind. Someone's watching. They wanted me to know. I think it's Jen O'Connor. She's kind of a big deal, so thank you for watching. And then we've got Chris. She's ruined a few movies endings for people, so you can go to the comments if you really want to know about that.
Oh yeah.
And,
Don't show that.
Yeah, and we are so blessed with the cast. They've worked so hard. This could be Sharon. It just says a Facebook user. With the outline, which is very mysterious, which is in keeping with the mousetrap.
Who could it be? I just want to point out, David, I didn't even see this comment before I mentioned it to the ladies about their microphones. So just do your thing and I'll do mine. Okay.
Yeah. You just stay out of our world. Are we coming to your party?
Yeah.
And saying how to.
You asked me to be co-host. Let me be co-host. Okay.
Good. No, it's good to put him in his place once in a while.
Right.
And he can't do anything because he's not here. So he's going to have to write it all down and remember.
Yeah.
Is it a 2-act? It's a 2-act play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an intermission.
Which is good because you need to breathe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you'll be so involved in who did it, who did what, whatever. So you need to take a minute.
Yeah. You'll be sitting on the edge of your seat. So you'll have to have a little bit of
right
a
before the break. You're definitely
You need
gonna
a
get
break.
to your seat.
And everybody guesses.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who you are. And I've seen it many times. And obviously I know what happens. But the first time I saw it, I was just gobsmacked.
I've pretty much named every character as I've helped Dave prepare. It's this person because of this. It's that person because of this.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, you just keep your theories coming and see what it's going to be.
Yeah, and that's very Agatha Christie. Like if you've read any of her novels or seen any of her shows, there's lots of red herrings, lots of twists and turns, lots of intrigue, and all the characters always end up being connected to each other.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Okay.
We're getting into some dangerous territory here. Got to be very.
I wrote it down on my hand. Do not tell who the murderer is.
Got it. That's good.
Show to find out who's.
Yeah. So when is the show? That's a good point. How do we go? How do we get there? When is it happening? Where do we get these tickets? Are there tickets left over?
So the show is May 1st to 4th. And you get tickets on Eventbrite, or you can go to the Claresholm Art Society page, and there's a link to go right to the tickets.
Hold on, I have an image.
There's tickets left, and
boom, there
come
it is.
see the show.
Come see the
Nice.
show.
And
There's a dinner theater as well.
A dinner theater.
And a Saturday matinee. So if you're too scared to go out at night, then you can go. You can go in the afternoon, and it's still going to be delightful. That's exciting. And ticket ranges are about what, 25 to
25 for I think the youth tickets and 30 for the adult tickets. The dinner theater's more than that. I don't remember.
It's 80.
Yeah.
Which is a really good deal for a dinner.
Absolutely.
Which is a prime rib, fantastic.
It's amazing.
And the fellow who's cooking is also in the show. So this is going to be fun.
What? How is he going to pull that off?
I don't know.
That's part of the mystery.
It's not
theater
Dave.
magic.
It's not Dave, is it? He hasn't volunteered to do that too, has he?
No.
Yeah, it's theater magic.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. We're
That's
really
awesome.
excited. And it's really nice to bring a classic piece to the community. I'm a really big, huge fan of classic theater. And so this has been a delight.
Yeah. Is it a little bit different? I know you guys have done a lot of musical theater. And so this is with a smaller cast. This is a little bit different. And you think people are going to still be as intrigued?
Sam, what do you have to say about that, Miss Musical?
Well, yeah. I've only ever done musicals, actually. This is my first play. And I love it. I think it's super cool. Plus, with the smaller cast, we cover a lot of ground a lot faster in rehearsals. So we get a lot more time to work on the little details. And so it's actually really cool. Plus, I'm kind of spoiled because I get to spend time with my husband while I'm at rehearsals.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, kind of
It's a good
spoiled. I'm
deal.
spoiled because Dave goes to rehearsal and I get to sit and watch the shows I want to watch. You know, to each their own, right?
Yeah. And plays are a unique experience altogether, and they are my favorite.
Yeah.
They are absolutely my favorite.
Absolutely. It's just such a magical time. And you said the set production for this one is incredible.
It's incredible.
Amazing.
Everyone's going to feel like they're sitting right there in that.
Oh, in the manor.
Because it's one stage, right?
Right,
One scene
one set.
that happened, one set. So no moving things around. So yeah, it's intriguing.
The costumes are remarkable.
They're so good.
Oh my
They are
gosh.
so good, and the set is worth paying the money for. I can
Yeah,
tell you, even
seriously.
though we try our best to entertain. you,
Yeah.
but the set is pretty fantastic.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Well,
Cool.
what else, Alec? What do you think?
I'm scared to ask because I'm so excited.
just want to know what's
I just want to be in the audience. When was the first time you saw it, Tracy? Like, when was the first time you remember?
In my 20s.
Okay.
Mm.
So not long ago.
Thank you very much. My mom was just saying to me the other day, I was just telling Amanda that you've been performing for over 60 years.
Yeah. Well, and there is, so I can tell you this, because when I was doing my research, I came across the Tracy Ohler Wikipedia, and you've done just
You're
over
hilarious.
400 shows, which is amazing.
Oh,
Oh, that's what I asked. How many shows in that 60 years? So thanks for keeping track of that, Alec. We appreciate it.
Tick, tick, tick.
Just
Yeah.
under 400.
Now you can update it with this next one that's going to be coming up. So
It's a real honor to put on this show. And I hope and I pray and I believe we're going to do it justice. It's
Oh, yeah.
pretty
It'll
fantastic.
be
Yeah.
great
no doubt.
to be. And is there a film version of this as well?
No, there will never until
Interesting.
the show stops running on the West End.
Yeah.
There will not be a movie. That was an Agatha Christie contract.
Oh, wow.
So if it stops
sense.
running on the West End, there will be a movie.
Got
There
it.
is a movie about the mousetrap called See How They Run,
Yes.
and you can watch that, but it never gives away the murderer.
Yes. For some reason, I don't know where we were in the conversation, but Dave blamed it on me. Whatever
Of
it
course.
was, it could be anything.
Yeah.
He can't keep his grubby fingers off anything.
He
Dave,
just
you're not
wants
even-
us
not
to
even here.
continuously put that up there.
Yeah, he just wants to be involved in the show. And Chris said Tracy's a force to be reckoned with and a beautiful example of welcoming with a heart at the end.
Oh,
Aw,
lovely.
so
Chris.
true.
And Dave, for some reason, thought that was funny. I don't
Yeah.
know why, Dave.
So
So he knows me
inappropriate.
too.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's a little insensitive of him, but again, he's not here. He doesn't have to be accountable to his comments, which is
Yeah.
nice. which is great.
And I just want to say, just as a little plug too, Tracy, you were also involved in the Family Fun Theater, the live radio show that Claresholm Art Society is a part of, as well as some of our neighboring communities. So you were in the studio doing the live radio performance. How was that in comparison to being on stage?
It was really fun. I had to write the first 2 episodes, which was quite challenging. But I did it, and I hope it turned out okay. But I really enjoyed it, and I really like old time theater.
Yeah,
it's really fun, and the children are so great.
It was so fun to watch you guys. I have to admit, I was watching you on the security camera in the studio.
Oh, there you go. And we were running back.
Everyone was just like back and forth, and you couldn't hear any of the papers rustling or any of the, it was just all very, it was a great performance from everyone.
It's good to know that it's rerun every Sunday night at 6:00. So you can, for this month it'll be episode 1 and 2.
Yeah,
will be run every Saturday or Sunday night.
Sunday night, and then they're working on the next months, and other people will be involved, and we're just continuously going to pull people from the different groups, and
it's wonderful.
Yeah,
and it's wonderful to see everybody from the other groups, because we all kind of live in a nice little community, don't we? We should all be happy to see each other.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you all a part of it, so thank you.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
I've got it says, well done, you guys are doing a great job over there. Gracias. That could be for anything. For anything. It's really the tone of the show has been upped. Okay, awesome. Well, we want to make sure that we get that ticket information up there one more time. May 1st to 4th, pardon me, at the Claresholm Community Center, and Eventbrite. If you just go in and look Mousetrap Claresholm, I'm sure it'll come up, or probably even just Mousetrap. But yeah, Eventbrite's great, because I think you can even pick your seat with Eventbrite too. So you can. We're actually going to be going twice. So
awesome.
Okay, once you see it though, you must never ever tell.
I know.
Maybe you should just leave after a certain point, and then just leave the first time you go, and then the next time you'll see the full
Come and
thing.
see the first half and leave.
Yeah.
Keep the secret in your heart.
That's a good idea.
You belong to the Mousetrap Club, which is it's full of millions of people who have seen it before.
And they've all been very, very good about not ruining it for me somehow.
Yeah, it's good. And like Sam and I both said, you will think that every single one of us has done something.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that before the show. Like, that's not going to change.
Everybody did it.
Is there like if you could put bets, like put a wager on it before you go in on a character, drop $5.
Oh, money raising.
Right?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it would be like a fundraiser. Like if you win, you just win like a certificate, but then the money.
Yeah.
I think that's called gambling. That might be gambling. I'm not sure.
I don't think they have that category, so I think you should easily be able to guess the murderer,
Yeah. Where it's just like, it's like a bingo style card, big one.
Or you could do that at your table. You know how when you're at the chuck wagon races, you all bet, $1 to see whatever.
Who's
you do it
it
at your table. Like you could all take a character and put $1 down.
Put your money down.
Good idea.
I like it.
Have to put somebody on that right away.
Yeah.
Got a couple weeks left. Awesome. So you open in a couple of weeks, and like I said, I'll be there twice, so I won't ruin it. I'll just stay sequestered for those couple of days in between.
Okay.
Don't talk to anyone in between those days.
And I will gasp the second time when things are revealed to keep up with it. So
the second time you see it, you'll catch more of the red herrings and the twists.
Yeah. And there's a lot of them. There's so much to catch that, like, even in rehearsals, we'll go, oh, hey, I didn't notice that before.
We've been doing this for 2 months and we still don't know.
That is good to know. That is good to know. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you both for being on and taking the time.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming down to the studio. We appreciate it.
Yeah, that was really fun.
And I know the limo to take Sam back is probably waiting.
Yeah. I could hear them honking outside.
Yeah.
So
Before you got on the show, I did
fantastic.
say,
I can tell you, come and watch Sam. She's pretty fantastic.
Oh, there it goes. The mic is leaving.
She's like, you're done.
It doesn't like me.
No, there's something going on with that mic. May 1st to 4th.
Of being a mom.
Yes, back to being a mom. But from the 1st to the 4th, you're going to be in the show, and we look forward to seeing it. That's all we're going to say.
Thanks for having us.
You got it.
Nothing ruined.
All right. Perfect.
Okay,
we did it. All right.
We did it.
We'll see you all soon.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we did it. We didn't ruin it. That was my fear today. All week I was like, I don't want to accident. I don't know, so it's probably good because if I did, I might.
I know.
So we're not going to talk about it anymore. We're
I
going to
agree.
not talk about it. You know what we are going to talk about briefly because we've only got a couple of minutes left is the sponsors for our show, because without sponsors, Amanda, as you know, I almost called you Dave. We couldn't do anything. This would be we wouldn't be on the air. We wouldn't be able to have these conversations at all. So we want to make a quick shout out to our sponsors. First of all, our original Janet's Fashions. It's feeling like spring, and they've got spring collections coming in. So go and check out Janet's on the corner of 50th Ave and Highway 2. Men's and women's fashions. They've got new things coming in every week. They've also got footwear. It's a much bigger store than it might look like on the outside. And they've always got sales happening. So thanks to Janet's for being one of our sponsors. Also, your dollar store with more, which is actually, I think, where I met Sam for the first time many years ago. They've got everything from they've got baby items. They've got their famous helium balloon machine. They've got greeting cards. They've got a small electronics section, lots of stationery. So go and check out your dollar store with more. They're locally owned and operated, and they'll be happy to help you out. And finally, Claresholm Pharmacy, where they have a team of prescribing and very friendly pharmacists, very knowledgeable. And they also have a small grocery section. So they have Cudlow meats, they have a small dairy section, and all the vitamins you could possibly imagine. If you're trying to stay healthy for a show, for example, it's good to go in there. I know they've done very well in these times when we have things going on. They sell a lot of vitamin C out of Claresholm Pharmacy to those of us that are trying to stay healthy. And I guess lastly, I'd like to thank Dave for he saved the show. And there's the shot of Dave before he had an enormous beard. And actually, here's something you haven't seen. This is a rare thing, and I'm only going to show it once because it's Dave shaving. He hasn't done this in a while either.
Oh, he hasn't done that in a while.
No.
Yeah. Whew.
You actually see a lot more of his face there, which, depending on who you are, I'm not going to say anything about that. No, he's a handsome man, and he looks good with the giant beard as well. So he's looking. I know, Dave. I'm hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious. How's things in Nanton this coming weekend? People are out.
That's okay. Yeah, no, things are good. Things, like I said, we're going to have the volunteer appreciation and fair tomorrow at the Cozy Corner downtown. Nice. We're going to be there broadcasting live and having Good Morning Nanton live there, and also hosting music bingo. So people can come down and have lunch and learn about the different organizations within Nanton to get involved in and for us to appreciate. So that's happening. I think that's all I can think of at the moment. That's pretty much.
That's okay. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. There's, always lots of stuff going on around Nanton, in Nanton. So, come on down, have a look. It's supposed to be nice this weekend, I think. Yeah, I hope.
It is. Music bingo's a lot of fun. I did that a few years ago. And that's where you get a snippet of a tune, right? And you got to look on your card and be like, oh. Is that music
this
bingo?
Is easy because we give you the name of the song. So okay. Yeah, we play the song, we give you the name. So really it's just like Dob,
nice.
Okay. Which is, a lot less pressure for people. They can enjoy it a little bit more. So we'll have some fun.
Life is stressful enough.
Exactly.
You don't need to be, but it is a lot of fun. Music bingo's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's supposed to be nice this weekend. It's going to get nicer. Hopefully we get rain when we need it and not the other form.
Do your rain dance and
do what you got to do.
Yeah, be done with the white stuff.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yeah.
We are exactly on time. So a quick thanks to our guest, to Cody Hall, to Barbell, and obviously to Sam and Tracy for being on the show. Man, we did it. We got it into it exactly an hour today. And we did, and it was, here's my thought then. I think we'll leave you with this. I think you're the new Dave.
We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
You can have a discussion with him about that when he's back. Tell him he's been replaced. No, I'm just kidding. Right. But no, thanks, Amanda, for jumping in. And I think it was kind of last minute. Certainly last minute for me, and I didn't know. But it was a pleasant surprise. So he said it was a surprise, and it was a nice surprise. So glad we got to do this today.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here and part of this. And thank you for everything you do. You're a wonderful host, Alec. We couldn't do it without you.
Thank you so much. It was very nice. We're going to say goodbye to everyone. As we always say, stay safe this weekend. Have a really good weekend. And we will be back on Friday with another episode of Connecting Claresholm. And be sure to tune in tomorrow, 10:30 for Good Morning Nanton live from location live. Like it's even more live than it normally is. It's really live.
Yeah.
Super live. Awesome. All right. We'll see everybody next week.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.